Hello, everyone. My name is AP the Word One, and welcome back to episode 3 of Full Metal Panic Fumoffu. This time we have the short story Summer Illusion of Steel. This is just one story from the light novel. It is volume 1 3, so it makes it pretty simple. No other parts to it. The episode is overall okay. It's not necessarily a funny episode. It's okay. It's a bit laid back. Nothing terrible. You could interpret some funny moments, but for me, I thought it was okay. Anyway, this is a beach episode, and it's Kama is been on the blue. She's wore that fine, sexy white bikini that was teased in season 1, and now she gets to show it off. And Sosuke doesn't notice. She knows what kind of man he is, but he's not noticing, appreciate it. She's bummed out, and of course she had to carry 3 sacks of large watermelon. In the anime they do 2, but the light novel they show 3. She's not happy. It's a hot summer day, and her man does not notice her, which is a big shame. But essentially, the gist of the episode is basically Kamen is upset, and then a sickly man who lives in a very beautiful mansion wants her to see her. She accepts the offer. They hang out a bit. Sosuke tries to infiltrate the establishment, but is denied because Kamen is mad at him, and because he thinks she's been kidnapped, which in circumstances we'll talk about. He might be right on the money. He managed to save her. Kamen does kind of forgive him because he was very persistent and was actually worried about her. But this episode, in terms of the light novel, gets a couple things I would say a bit askew. We'll talk about. Let's first talk about our lady Kamina. She's got a nice, fine, sexy figure, but in comparison to I think the light novel, I think she's got not as big as Booba, and it means that our girl. Tessa, she's just as fine. It's there's not exactly a clear winner. Tessa's still got a lot of beauty. If you want to make the argument that Tessa's a lot hotter, you do absolutely have the sense. And of course, Tessa, she's a lot more clumsy. She's a better character. But of course, Sosuke likes his very forward women. So yeah, it doesn't show off. I will show bits of the light novel at the very end to kind of talk about my point. But the only person, in the light novel mentions everybody's in bathing suits except for our man, the president. He is, he exemplifies the summer illusion of steel. He's in a normal schoolwear, and he reads a few books. He reads about 5 or so books while at the beach. He reads Art of War. He reads a few different books. It's a bit of I think that's probably the funniest moment from the episode is what books he's reading. But so we just have that. Of the women, I'm gonna personally argue that the secretary is probably the hottest, and I think they showed in the light novel in the main series that she does have the hots for our president. So he's got good taste. She may have a onesie, but she's a fine looker. She's got that beautiful hair, nice purple hair, nice figure. She is good. She's got a nice rear end as well. But yeah, so in kind of comparison, we can see another look. She's got some fine booba. Of course there is feet, but she's got that fine hair, lovely face. Yeah, she is for me at least, she's next to Tessa. It's a hard one to say. She doesn't have much of a character, especially in light novel. But in terms of looks, she's there. When we tune into Fumoffu, she's the one we're looking out for. Or at least I am. Until Tessa shows up, but she is going to. But yeah, she's got her and Kamina chat out. She knows what's wrong. They have a watermelon smashing contest, and it's supposed to be the one on the nearest film, but Sosuke, he wanders left, grabs a shotgun, and then blows up some watermelon and absolutely destroys, and then Kamina destroys it because the watermelon right next to Kamina, absolutely destruction. But following that, of course, she gets angry, goes to get a soda, and eventually gets taken to this beautiful mansion on this hillside cliff, which I think it's the house in the very far left corner, I believe. It could be the entire villa, but I believe it's just the left one based on what we see later on. But regardless, this this kind of sexy or sickly boy, he's got rich blood. Anyway, this is our man. He's known as Matsumi Hyuga. He seems like a very nice boy, and he's sickly because he's lovesick. His cousin, whom he proposed to when he was like 5 years old, gets in an accident and marries a florist, and he's all distraught. He remembers from this day, like for me, I remember certain stuff, but I wouldn't remember these kind of details. Actually, I do remember a lot of weird details, but he's all sick, and like you can understand why Sosuke might want to get Kamina away from him, because he doesn't like liars and everything. He's very naive, and of course Kamina gets very upset. She gets a little bit scared from this deal, but like earlier on, when Sasuke comes to try to save her, she ignores him because she's mad, but she doesn't exactly want to tell the truth. She just says he's a pervert. In order to protect his fine establishment, he's hired 3 French legionnaires, former French legionnaires. And I find this funny if you watch the main series and you've seen Lemon and his boys, like they just get mopped the floor by Sosuke, and not even in his prime. So these 3 are like nothing. These guys are nothing compared, and they fight as like individuals, which is Sosuke's main. Like he's a one-man army. These guys got no shot. They're kind of funny. Sosuke actually doesn't do anything crazy to him. He shoots the dark skinned one and the more Asian, more Miss American looking one or white boy with fake rounds, and then the last one he kind of grenade launches into the back. He causes a pillar fall on top of him. He's probably the most competent, the driver anyway. But they unfortunately fail to stop him. Sosuke rescues Kamina, and he gives him a nice good pep talk saying, "Don't be naive, but be forward. Have higher, better hands and get stronger." He uses in the anime he uses like a bat with nails, but in the light novel he uses like a single head knife. Both times he just gets mopped the floor, but there are little small differences. So overall, the episode is it's fine. Like I said, you might argue this is a more of a skippable one. It's not very funny, but that depends on your taste. However, regardless, we do need to take a look at the light novel. So let's draw the ire. All right. Actually, we can start in the beginning. Whoopsie, food's on the way. Anyway, we can start from the beginning. Actually, we can we have a color one. Give me right. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to pick it. Oh man. No, let's see. All right. Here we go. Perfect. All right. So we have this scene. Get that way. Oh, this is why. So one of the more colored ones. Let me get my face out of the way, but to show the. So we do have from the color scene in the beginning. We do show Kamina being rescued on the balloon at the very end of the scene. We have that moment. So that we have that. And then we have where Kamina is kind of wearing her nice lacy swimsuit. It looks a little bit lacier and it kind of shows that she's got a little bit bigger breasts. Of course, in the light novel, she has black hair as opposed to the greenish turquoise hair. She looks a lot sexier. I wish they kind of has. I wish the anime had a little bit more pizzazz. I mean, given that it is it's done by Studio Kyoto, they could probably give it off. But the final motion, and I don't know. You could argue it's necessary. Is this one where she forced to jump out of the window? This is her, kind of being all scared like. Kind of a nice funny moment. It's all right. The anime is okay as well. But with that, I'll see you guys next time for episode 4. We got another kind of like more 2-parter anyway. Let me bring up what we're dealing with. We have the Hamburger Hill of Art and the what is it? Let's see. I guess it's wait, hold on. Which one is it? I know it. Let's see. Oh yeah, Single-Minded Stakeout. Single-Minded Stakeout should be a bit of a funny one. That's one. There's a dress up part for it, and then Hamburger Hill of Art. I don't remember too well, but regardless with that, I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful Saturday. I'm not sure when the next episode's gonna do. Kamen Rider is on hiatus for a week, so maybe you might see the next episode Monday, potentially Wednesday or Tuesday. We'll see how things are play out. But anyway, have a wonderful Saturday. Keep tight and happy November.